So the announcement for 0.4 is next week, right? On the 4th. But we don't know anything about what the league mechanic is going to be. So what could it possibly be? Last season in 0.3, they put out a specific teaser, right? That Lightless Ones teaser. It was pretty easy. It was like, okay, for sure, Abyss, 100%. Same color, same all of that stuff. In this last league teaser, it wasn't really much, you know. It just has like the title heading saying that last of the druids, so you kind of have to speculate, why is this guy the last of the druids? Are there any other druids out there? And you know what, in PoE2 there's actually a druid in there, but he's a boss. I don't know if you remember the Grim Tangle in Act 2. There's a rotten druid in there, so let's take a look. Right, so here he is, the rotten druid. Now if you take a look at him, I mean, he has this like distinct yellow color, and the idea behind like this Grim Tangle is that there's funguses that are taking over the monsters down there, right? Funguses, and it has this like yellow kind of color. And apparently this, I know, if the new druid coming out is the last one, there's one in PoE2. We don't know anything about his backstory. But if you just take a look at, let me see if once I get back into frame. If you take a look at the color of these mushrooms, it has this distinct yellow. Right, if you take a look at them, that distinct kind of pulsing kind of yellow, where have you seen that before? In PoE1. Right, there's only one place, and it's Blight. So here we are. This is the page for Blight when it got released back in whenever the time. Now if you look at it, right, it's the same like pulsing yellow kind of look. Like it has these roots that spread out. You know, there's Sister Cassia and stuff. You got to stop the spread of Blight. All that good stuff. Right, it's a great mechanic, gets everybody bricked up. It's a really unique mechanic as far as ARPGs go. It's the only ARPG that I can think of that has a tower defense type of mechanic. So as for GGG, for like a mechanic to like kind of release, to just like keep building momentum into 0.1, Blight would be a super good choice, right? Especially this new reimagining of what Blight could be, especially since that, you know, you saw how they executed Abyss. I mean, it was great. I thought Abyss was super sick. You know, it's just that obviously it's not optimized, so there's a lot of big optimization questions. That sucks. They lowered the dots on the ground that was just killing people because you couldn't see because there was no clarity or whatever. But if you look at Blight, man, it would be a great mechanic to add, right? So if you look down here, the spreading of Blight. Sister Cassia tries to stop the spread of Blight, of mind-controlling Blight by destroying fungal growths. Right, destroying fungal growths, and that's the exact same thing that was in the, you know, the rotten druid. So like for me, if I'm guessing it, I think it would be Blight, and for them I think it would be smart to put in Blight, but at the same time you can always put in Blight later, you know, maybe after the league is released you can put in Blight, but at the same time too, I keep saying at the same time, if you release Blight now, dude, that is like a killing blow to all the other ARPGs, because no other ARPG even has any type of tower defense, right? And it makes sense for the story for the druid. He's like the last of the druids. Why is he the last of the druids? Nature guy. Last one because he got a bunch of these funguses going around ruining his garden, taking over his other rotten druid homie. So story wise, it kind of lines up. It seems like it would be pretty good, right? You see it, the last of the druids. So why is he the last one? I don't know. Maybe it is like a time thing. Maybe he's like brought back from the past, but it also makes sense that, you know, he's just getting wrecked by Blight. And part of it is, if you look at it, this is the part that's a stretch, right? Because the color is not the same. If the color was the same, I would be convinced. But if you see as this root comes out, right, here's the root, you got these appendages that are glowing in color. Like, is the druid gonna magically grow trees that are gonna be, you know, in that color? Did they decide to just arbitrarily put this color, or is this the new color of what Blight's supposed to look like, right? But anyway, those are my thoughts. That's my 2 cents, just to muddy the waters, throw it out there. There's excitement kind of brewing up for 0.4. If they threw out Blight, dude, as the mechanic, crowd goes wild, out of the park, all that stuff. So yeah, see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Bye.